The winding trails of Wyrms rivers reflect the worm's movements, graceful and deliberate, each bend mirroring the undulations of these ancient beings. Example: the Amazon River, with its curving path, resembles the coiled movement of a celestial worm, linking the vitality of the forest to the rhythm of the cosmos. Its twists are not random. They echo the worm's instinct to sustain and nurture life. The rhythm of flowing waters rivers are not merely water. They are the lifeblood of the earth, vital arteries carrying nourishment to distant corners of the land. Mythical parallels. In Hindu mythology, the Ganges River is said to flow from the heavens, guided by divine serpents to purify the earth. In Australian Aboriginal Dream Time stories, the rainbow serpent carved rivers into the land as it moved, bringing water and fertility. Zorans. Reflection. Rivers are worms that learn to sing. Their voices are soft, but do not mistake that for weakness. They shape continents. Interactive reflection for river. Sit by a nearby river, or imagine one vividly. Watch its flow and trace its bends. What worm carved this path? What does its movement teach you about persistence and adaptability? 2. Mountains. The resting peaks of Wyrms mountains are more than towering rock. They are the bones of the world, pushed upward by the slow and deliberate strength of Wyrms. Each peak rises where a worm is coiled, its body pressing upward, lifting the land into the sky. To stand on a mountaintop is to touch the place where the worm rests, a sacred connection to the earth's hidden power. The coils that forge mountains worms, with their immense strength, nudge tectonic plates together, their spiraling bodies forcing the land skyward. The resulting peaks bear their marks, jagged ridges and winding valleys that echo the curve of their ancient forms. Example: the Himalayas are often referred to as the abode of the gods, a fitting description for a worm's resting place. Myths speak of serpentine forces shaping these colossal peaks, their slumbering forms holding the earth in balance. Mythical peaks and sacred connections. Japan's mythology. Mount Fuji is home to dragon spirits believed to guard the harmony of the natural world. Norse mythology. Dragons such as Fenrir slumber within mountains, their fiery breaths shaping the lands around them. Andean traditions. The Apu, spirits residing in mountain peaks, are said to guide and protect those who respect their strength. Another echo of the worm's presence. Zoran's anecdote. A masterpiece in stone. When I was young, I watched an elder worm nudge a mountain into place. It wasn't a roar or a quake, it was a gentle push, scales pressing into stone until it rose. Humans call this a fault line. I call it art. That mountain now catches the first light of dawn each morning. You see rock. I see a worm's greatest treasure. Interactive reflection for mountains. Climb a hill or mountain, or imagine standing atop one. What strength pushed this peak to meet the sky? What message does the worm resting here whisper to your soul about perseverance and reaching upward? Zoran's final thought. The worm's sculpting hand. Humans think rivers merely flow and mountains merely stand, but they are blind to the worm's handiwork. Rivers are the veins of the earth, carrying life wherever the worm commands. Mountains are its bones, holding the land steady even as the winds rage. So the next time you drink from a stream or gaze at a peak, remember, you are walking on the worm's masterpiece, a canvas of stone and water, painted with patience and fire. Modern echoes. Climate change has worms restless turning in today's world. The geomantic power of worms manifests not as deliberate creation, but as unsettling restlessness, a consequence of imbalance inflicted upon the earth. Humanity's disregard for the planet's natural rhythms has disturbed the worm's cycles, awakening their latent energy in chaotic bursts. This unrest is not wrathful but reflective of a worm's attempt to restore balance in a world that has forgotten the ancient dance between harmony and renewal. The worm's warning. Nature as mirror. The phenomena we now associate with climate change storms, droughts, rising seas are echoes of the worm's uneasy turning beneath the surface. These manifestations are not punishments but consequences, the worms responding to the disturbances humanity has sown. To interpret them solely as disasters is to miss their message. The rhythm of the earth has been silenced, and the worms are calling for its restoration. 1. Storms and fury. The coiled chaos unleashed hurricanes and typhoons are not random acts of destruction. They are the physical expression of the worm's coiled energy unraveling in desperation. These storms mirror the worm's movements, their winds circling like serpentine bodies in motion, their power unleashed by imbalance. The dance of chaos. Hurricanes spiral like a worm's coil, their eye serving as the calm center of the storm, a reminder that even chaos carries moments of stillness. Tornadoes mimic the worm's furious twist, their spinning chaos scattering debris, much like a worm reshaping the earth in frustration. Mythical reflections in Japanese lore. Dragon gods like Rai-Jin command storms and the seas, their tempers stirring the waters when balance is disrupted. In Pacific Island traditions, cyclones are said to represent divine beings reacting to human transgressions against nature. Zoran's reflection. When worms rise, they do not rage for vengeance. Their roars are not curses, but laments calls to restore the rhythm that was lost. Humans heed the storm not as an enemy, but as a teacher. Restore the dance, and you calm the storm. 2. Heat of the mantle. The frustration of trapped flame-rising global temperatures reflect the worm's frustration, their internal flames burning hotter as they struggle to release energy through natural cycles. Humanity's interference through deforestation, pollution, and exploitation has stoked the worm's fire too high, trapping heat and suffocating balance. The mantle's voice, the mantle, a repository of molten energy, acts as the worm's hearth. When its equilibrium is disrupted, volcanoes erupt, and heat spills over in ways the earth cannot regulate. Heat waves are akin to the worm exhaling too forcefully, unable to contain its frustration within the depths. Mythical connections. In Hindu mythology, Agni the fire god channels heat to both create and destroy, reflecting the dual nature of the worm's flame. Dragons in Chinese lore, tasked with maintaining balance, are said to withdraw their cooling rains when humans dishonor the land. Zoruns. Warning. A worm's flame can nurture or destroy. Humans, you have stoked the fire too high. Let the worm breathe, or you'll taste its smoke. Balance is not a luxury, it is survival. The call to action, restoring the rhythmed restless turning of worms, is both a warning and an invitation. If humanity can learn to honor the Earth's cycles, to tread lightly upon its scales, and synchronize with its pulse, the worms will calm. Restoration is not a matter of reversing time. It is a matter of listening deeply to the messages encoded in the storms, the heat, the rising seas, and the trembling ground. Lessons from the worm's restlessness. 1. Synchronizing with nature. Adopt practices that restore balance, regenerative agriculture, renewable energy, reforestation to mimic the worm's own creative cycles. 2. Mindful consumption. Reduce waste and consumption. Let the worm's patience inspire humans to use resources wisely, sparingly, and with reverence. 3. Cultural healing. Honor the wisdom of indigenous cultures that have always understood the earth as a living being. Their traditions echo the worm's truth. Humanity thrives only within harmony, never dominance. Interactive worm trial, turning the Tidetto engage with the worm's restless energy. Try these exercises. 1. Storm meditation. During a rainstorm, sit quietly and listen to the rhythms of the rain. Imagine the worm's coil unraveling as it seeks balance. Reflect. What imbalance in your own life needs restoration? 2. Heat ritual. Stand in sunlight and feel its warmth on your skin. Acknowledge the heat's power to nurture or destroy. Commit to one act that reduces your environmental footprint, whether through conserving energy or planting trees. 3. Breathing with the earth. Lay flat on the ground and match your breath to the earth's rhythm. Feel its tremors and imagine the worms coiling below, shaping the world with every subtle movement.